Welcome everybody to Spotlight On, New York Times Online Edition. So I'm Becky Greer and I'm here with Hillsborough County Library. I am joined by Daniel.
Hi everyone.
All right, so before we get started, we actually have a poll. So our poll today is, where do you get your news? Is it from the New York Times, the Tampa Bay Times, Google News, TV, or something else? All right, let's see those answers. Give it a few more seconds to vote. All right, awesome. It looks like there's a pretty even spread out. A few of you get New York Times. Most of you, looks like Tampa Bay Times. That's pretty awesome. Makes sense since we're local. All right. So I'm going to go and pass things on to Daniel now. Before I do, actually, if you do have any questions, please submit them on the questions tab at any time. We'll get to those questions at the very end. All right, Daniel, over to you.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. So let's look at how to get free access to the New York Times and Games with your library card. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide straight away. Yep. So the first thing you're going to need is a New York Times account. So what you'll need to do is go to the New York Times website, which is nyt.com or nytimes.com. And then in the top right-hand corner, there's a little login button there, that one. So you don't need to subscribe. You want to click that login button and make a little account there. And then the only information they're going to need is your email address and password. So you go ahead, enter your email address here, or use one of the other sign-in options to connect to your Google, Facebook, or Apple accounts. Okay, if you use email, you'll need a verification code. So then if you check your email, you should have an email that looks like this. Okay, and if you don't see it, you just refresh the page or check your spam folder, and you can use this verification on the NYT registration page, or click the little linky just underneath that little blue linky. So then you'll choose your password, and you see the little checkbox there, you want to probably opt out of getting promotional emails from the Times. They do send quite a lot, by clicking the little checky box, and then great, you are now signed up for the New York Times. If you are inside the library, that's all you have to do. But I know what you want to do. You want to read the newspaper and do the crossword from the comfort of your home, with your robe, with your coffee, the way it's meant to be done. And you don't want to pay any extra for that. So let's make that happen. So now we have a New York Times account. That's the first step. And now we need to go to the library webpage for our second step. So go ahead and click on the Learning and Research tab. And then that will take us to our Resources A to Z page. So from this one, this is all the library's electronic resources are here. And you can click on either Resources A to Z to find the New York Times under the letter N, or you can click on News and Magazines down there. And then this takes you to the library's New York Times launch page, and you'll want to bookmark this page if you'd like to read the New York Times or play the games or get the recipes at home regularly. So what you want to do is click that green Get an Activation Code button under News outside the library. Okay, and then you can see what's included. For the news, it gives you all the news throughout the paper every day. So everything that they have online, which is very nice. And the activation code is good for 3 days. If you hit that redeem key, it'll take you to the New York Times. It'll take you back to the New York Times. Okay, if you aren't logged into your library account, you'll need to log into your library account to redeem the access code. You can, of course, find your library card number on the back of your library card. And then the PIN is usually the last 4 digits of your phone number. And if you don't have a card yet, you can just smash that get a card button next to login and get yourself set up right away. Okay, so now games and cooking as well. Games has a separate access code. So you'll need to do the same process again for games. And the games code is only good for 24 hours. So you'll definitely want to bookmark that library New York Times launch page there so that you can renew your access quickly. So once again, you just hit that black redeem button and it'll take you back to New York Times games section. This code, like I said, it's only good for 24 hours. So anytime you want to do the crossword, you'll probably have to refresh that one. Okay, so let's check out some of the games that are here. We have the crossword, the mini crossword, spelling bee, Wordle, letterbox, tiles, the vertex, and Sudoku. So for our second poll, we would like to find out which games you might be interested in playing.
All right, so yeah, go fill out our poll. Are you interested in playing crossword, spelling bee, Wordle, letterboxd, or Sudoku? Or you can type into the questions and let us know if there's a different game that not listed, or if you're interested in more than one.
Don't know about you guys, but I'm a terrible Wordle addict. I haven't got today's one yet, which is surprising, but I usually play that one every day.
I love seeing the people posting on Facebook how well they did.
Well, that's good that somebody likes it because I'm going to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, and Wordle right now, that's our #1 answer. I'm not surprised to hear that. It's still super popular.
Awesome. Okay, so should be able to show some of the games in a moment.
Yeah, we have a few different videos of our games, so let's get started with the first one. This is crossword.
Okay, so yep, this one is the crossword, famous New York Times crossword. It's pretty intuitive. You can just click the question and type your answer. You can also check your answers or reveal words if you get stuck. And there's a big crossword archive available if you need it. You can find all the crosswords, I think, you know, from even like they have at the bottom of the page, you can find the archive of the most recent ones, but you can go back even further if you're a real crossword fiend. And I think you can see, yeah, here in a minute there, you can choose to check the word if you want, give yourself the answer if you want to. So it's something you can do at all levels, whether you really confident with the crossword or just starting out. Okay, and then this one is the mini. It's just a mini crossword, so that's good. You know, if it's on a work day, you maybe don't have time to do the full crossword. This one's a nice puzzle, and a lot of people try and do it quickly, just for fun. But there's no requirement, and again, you can reveal answers if you get stuck. You can check if your answer's correct. You know, sometimes you think you've got it, but you can't get the next solution, so you can check your answer.
Okay, let me try a different one. Let's see if Wordle will work.
Okay, so yep, of course, you're probably familiar with Wordle. It was extremely popular at the start of last year, and then it was acquired by the New York Times. Now, you don't have to log in to play Wordle. That's one of the things they kept when they acquired it. But if you're logged in, it will keep track of your statistics. So yeah, if you're not familiar with it, this is how it's played. You just try and guess the 5-letter word, and it will tell you which letters are correct and in the correct position and in green, and which letters are in the word but not in the correct position in yellow. And then the gray ones aren't in the word at all. So you can see in that one, great, yep. Okay, and yeah, you see it keeps track of your statistics if you're logged in. Now there's also this Wordle strategy section. So they have their Wordle bot, which will use artificial intelligence to analyze your gameplay if you wanted to. Of course, you don't have to use this one, but it's a fun thing. Some players like to do it all the time. I like to look at it occasionally. See, it looks at your puzzle and suggests some better words. Personally, I just like to play Wordle for fun, and I'm not fussed on optimizing my gameplay, but if you are interested in doing that, it's a pretty cool little tool. And if you like to get extra nerdy, all of the math is in there as well. And it compares it to all the other players as well. So, you know, if you got it first try, you might feel really good on this screen. On the 5th one, maybe not so much, but you know.
All right, our next video will be for Letterbox.
Okay. So for Letterboxd, in this game, you make words and try and use all of the letters that are around the square. Okay, so we can see all the letters are arranged around the box. What you're trying to do is you have to bounce to another side after each letter. You can't use 2 letters from the same side consecutively. So yeah, you see you bounce around and you're trying to use up all the letters. And if you can manage to use up all the letters, then you'll win the game. It suggests trying to solve it in 5 words. Of course, you can take more or less. You know, there's no big prizes either way. And the final letter of the word has to be the first letter of the next word. So it's a fun little brain teaser. I think if you like Wordle, I would definitely recommend trying Letterboxd as well and Spelling Bee as well. They're other fun little word games. It can take a lot of time or not a lot of time, just depending on how you're feeling that day and how lucky you are with the word choice.
Next up is Tiles.
All right, so Tiles is an abstract matching game where you look for tiles that have the same elements and then you try and make the longest combination possible. So you can see here, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's divided up into a grid of tiles. And you click on one, you see this one has like that, yeah, the same little piece that's in the other tile. And then I need to look for one that matches this one. And see that little yellow square matched. And then what can we find that matches this tile, that one? And it slowly removes parts of the picture. as you go. So if you play in the regular mode, eventually you'll end up with a blank screen and you've won that picture. There's also a Zen mode where you can just play infinitely if you would like to, you know, have a more relaxing game. Yeah, so Tiles and one of the other games that are on there, they can be more relaxing visual games. I mean, you can try and do them quickly and competitively as well, but they're like a nice one to, you know, click in through, you know, on the tablet or that sort of thing.
Okay, we do have Sudoku now.
Okay, and then we also have Sudoku. I mean, Sudoku is Sudoku. It's a puzzle with numbers, but like it says there, the numbers game minus the math. A lot of the time, you think it, like if you haven't played it before, you think it's a math game. I thought it was a math game. It's not a math game. It's that's a misconception. It's a fill in the blank game. Personally, I'm not very good at it, but The Times has a lot of options for making the game easier or more difficult to suit yourself and your skill level and your comfort level. So, you know, you can have it give you hints and like sort of guide you through the whole process. You can check your answers, you can reveal answers to some of the numbers if you get stuck. And then it also has like easy, medium, and hard difficulties. So you have lots of choices with how you want to play Sudoku on it. So it's quite nice. Yeah, I think in this one, whether you were an expert or a real beginner, you could definitely have fun playing Sudoku on the New York Times page.
All right, I'm going to try Spelling Bee one more time, see if that works. There we go. Maybe it'll work. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
No.
Oh, there we
yes.
go.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Spelling Bee, this is like I said before, this is a really good one if you already like playing Wordle. In this game, you try and make as many words as possible, but they must include the yellow letter in the middle of the hive. And then, yeah, you can see at the top, there's a little progress bar that gives you a little rating as you find more and more words. And longer ones too. It'll kind of give you more points for finding longer ones. So let's head over to look at some of our other resources that we have very quickly. Okay, so if you'd like to continue the experience, I have a couple of more recommendations for you here that you can also access free with your library card. We have the Wall Street Journal, which works in much the same way as New York Times. You can get an access code through the library's website, and they do have a crossword as well if you are desperate for more games. Okay, we also have Press Reader, which has magazines from around the world, many different languages as well, and lots of different choices and topics. That's a really, really good app to download as well and check them out for free. And we also have the America's Newspapers database, which has current and archived newspaper articles from around the United States, organized by state. And that includes the Tampa Bay Times and the Tampa Bay Times archive as well on that one. So you can find all of these great resources and more under the Learning and Research page, which is hcplc.org/research, and also for the newspapers, if you go to the library website, hcplc.org/newspapers, to get directly to just those resources. So I hope that makes you feel confident getting into these games and understand the process. So yeah, look forward to seeing your Wordle high scores clogging up everybody's Facebook feed.
Of course, yeah, gotta have that. Thank you. That was a great overview. We do have time for just one or two questions here. So one question is, can I play on different devices with the same account information?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, you can be playing on your phone and then pick it up on your computer, pick it up on your tablet. Yeah, so as long as you log in on that same New York Times account, and you won't have to refresh the access code on different devices, like you can just do that once on your computer or your phone and then, you know, continue playing throughout the day on whatever device is handy. You know, if you're like me and you're one of those people who has like 3 or 4 devices lying around and they just play on different ones, it's really good.
Yeah, it's nice to play on just whatever's handy, whatever's closest. Um, Another question, is there a limit to the number of codes? Can you just keep getting them?
And you can just keep getting it every day. Yeah, the main,
That's great.
yeah, it's just slightly annoying that you have to check back every day for the code, but you know, like they've got hundreds of Pulitzer prizes, you can't expect them to make it that easy for you. You have to do a little investigation of your own. But
Jump
yes,
through a few hoops.
there's no limit to the codes. You can just every day get another access code.
Our final question is just, which game do you think is the hardest? I guess personally.
So actually the like visual games like Tiles, and they have another one, Vertex, which is like a hidden picture connect the dots game.
Oh, wow.
I find those kind of trickier than the word games, but a lot of these games, if you play them regularly, you'll get the hang of it really quickly.
That's good. Yeah, it definitely takes some practice, some of those games. I played Spelling Bee, and it took a while to really understand how it all worked and to know the techniques.
Definitely.
All right, so that actually brings us to the end of our program here. So if you do want to contact us, you can reach the library at hcplc.org/contact, or you can go and give us a phone call at 813-273-3652. To check out more programs, both virtual and in branches, you can visit us at hcplc.org/events. And you can join us soon for our next Spotlight On, which is also another New York Times program about cooking featuring Mexican hot chocolate. It'll actually be a demonstration and you'll get to go and check out the recipe. That'll be at 6 p.m. on Monday, February 23rd. We hope you can join us for that one. And we hope you start playing some games soon and let us know how you like them. Let us know what your favorites are.
All right, happy gaming and happy reading, and hope we'll see you in the library again soon.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. Have a good night.